Gloria. I'm glad to see you. I was pleased that you thought to call me. What do you want to talk to me about?
Well, I studied sign language here at the church, and now I want to work with deaf children. Puerto Rico desperately needs people who are trained in deaf education. My teacher here told me about a 4-month program in the U.S. that's exactly what I need. I can live near campus and take the bus, and the church is even willing to pay my tuition. I know I'm smart enough to do this. I'm the only one in my family who finished high school and college.
It sounds to me like you've investigated the program and like what you've found out. But it sounds like you might have some reservations.
Well, I don't know how I can leave my family. My mother and uncles depend on me, and my husband and children need me too. Carlos, my husband, is disabled and I can't take care of them by himself. I would like to take them with me and for them to live in a different culture, but I don't know if they would even want to go. And my mother and uncles can't go. They're not in very good health. My brother and I live very close to them, so they depend on us a lot. My other brothers and sisters are far away and live in the same building together in New York. I moved there with them when I was in 4th or 5th grade, and that was great for me.
Sounds like living in New York was quite an experience for you.
Oh yes, the language, the miniskirts, the music. It was very wild in New York, and we didn't learn anything in school at the time. Then we moved back to Puerto Rico when I was in 9th grade, but I ran away from home and my friends helped me get a plane ticket back to New York. When I got there, my brothers were waiting for me at my friend's house and made me come live with them. One day when I was about 15, I walked out of my brother's house and moved to New Jersey with a friend. I got a job doing migrant work, picking strawberries, onions, stuff like that. My sister found out where I was and she called me. She wanted to see me. She said my parents were really sick and she wanted me to go back and take care of them because she was getting married and staying in New York.
Although you really liked New York, your family is very close and you felt you had to return.
Yes, and when I did, it was hard for me. They said I was the black sheep of the family. In Puerto Rico, girls didn't finish high school if they didn't want to. They got married and had kids. I did the same thing, but not how my parents wanted. I met Carlos at a party, and after we went out for a few months, and I lived with him instead of getting married first. He had 2 kids already, then we married and had 3 kids together.
What was it like being married?
Well, Carlos had a good job. He worked for the telephone company until he had an accident, and now he is disabled from that job and takes medicine for his nerves. That was one of the reasons I decided to study and go to college. When I married him, I didn't know anything about paying bills. So when he had the accident, I just couldn't handle it. It was terrible for me. 5 kids and I didn't know how to do anything. Plus, Carlos depended on me and so did my mother. Yes, that's when I realized I needed an education. That's what I've been doing all these years, working, studying, and raising children.
Studying and learning was important to you and you felt good about getting your GED and college degree.
Yes, and I worked too. I was a secretary for some time, and with my husband's disability and medical insurance, we were not so bad off. I also worked part-time in the Women, Infants, and Children program, the WIC program. It was a good experience, but I know now I want to work with deaf here in Puerto Rico, and I need this training, but I don't know what I'm going to do.